post Manipal आपने क्या क्या किया?
Okay. So post Manipal, I had while I was in Manipal, I sat in a lot of placement interviews, right? And I think this is something that will be very very helpful for our juniors to. So my story is rather interesting. So the first company that I remember came to Manipal was for our batch was Mu Sigma, and Mu
Okay.
Sigma Mu Sigma had a cutoff of I think 7 CGP or 6 CGP. I can't remember which one. I think it was 7. So काफी लोग क्वालिफाई करे थे. Few people were left out, but I remember it was about 700 people, 718 people, something like that, who went into the Mu Sigma written examination, and they had about 4 or 5 rounds GC, and then they had like a video thing, some sort of uh, screening round. 4 round के बाद there were 18 people or 24 people left. So I was in those 24 after the who proceeded to the final interviews, and I didn't make it. Okay, and the reason I didn't make it was I was not experienced in interviews, and I thought that I would just go and ace the interview just like that. So that's inexperience, that's immaturity. But now, of course, you know now that you need to be very very prepared for interviews. You need to study the company, you need to study what the companies, what sort of questions they ask, and you need to do your background work. But I didn't do that, so I didn't clear that interview. And then it became a bit of a recurring trend that I was not able to clear interviews. So I was incredibly good at acing the written exams, because I would mostly get through all the written exams, but then I would go and mess up my interview. So uh, क्या हुआ कि I couldn't get placed. ठीक है. And then we had the gate examination coming up. So, and as I've told you, I was not a very good student. I really didn't enjoy studying that much in college. वो
Mhm.
मेरा mindset, that was a mindset issue. It was not because I was not interested in the subjects. It was just a mindset issue that sometimes you are not very serious about where you want to be. But I went for the gate exam. I did not really study, but when I wrote the exam, I understood that I'm writing a really good exam here, because I was able to answer most of the questions. And so when we came back, everybody was like, "Oh man, this exam is quite difficult," and blah blah blah. And I kept silent because I was like, "Wow, am I the only one who thinks that my exam went well?" so, so
Yeah.
so when that happened, when the gate results came, I did clear it up, clear the results, the gate exam, and then I went to give my interview at CSI National Chemical Laboratory. So that was one of the interviews that actually went well for me, and I got into the PhD program. So before leaving Manipal, I had already gotten into the PhD program at CSI NCL.
So, but by your eighth semester, you were already there at
I
CSI,
was
right?
already there. Not by eighth semester, but before graduating. So maybe a couple of months before graduating, I already had the PhD seat.
Okay,
So
that's good.
so that also answers your question, right? Why did you choose to go for a PhD in India? I chose to go for a
Yeah.
PhD because I had a lot of opportunities at doing my placements that I did not take, but I took one of the opportunities, and that opportunity happened to be the PhD program. So I went for it.
So,
I
so
thought.
was it a bit more accidental than actually
I
planned?
mean, I mean, it's not accidental. It's part of the overall strategy, right? अभी एक country अगर is diversifying its LNG import strategies, तो बहुत सारा strategy कर रहा है. It's not just relying on import from USA. It's relying on import from Russia. It's trying to manufacture its own gas and everything. So it's all part of the strategy. So unless and until you have a very clear focus, you got to make up your strategy. And my strategy was to try out everything, and even try out the PhD program. And उस time पे you have a lot of energy. You're like, हाँ हाँ सब हो जाएगा. I'll do everything. कुछ भी नहीं है. It's fine. So PhD was one of the things. Well, it was not PhD, but the idea was to write the GATE exam and see
Yeah,
where it leads you.
yeah.
So उससे I got into this CSR lab.
So
So
you directly went into a PhD after
yeah,
your.
that's the way it worked out. Yeah, and yeah, I dived into my PhD. I was really repentant about this one interview that I gave with Michelin, and so Michelin tires had come to Manipal for the first time, and I remember they had a written exam and an interview in Manipal, and I had really aced both the rounds. So I was the only person selected from the entire department to travel to Chennai to interview with the Michelin team. And when I went to Chennai, then I messed it up. So I was really quite sad about it. But ठीक you have to take whatever you have been dealt. And I did realize that it's not a cup of tea as I had thought at that time. So you have to really work very hard to get into these companies. So all kudos to you guys for making it during your placements.
Yeah, but more importantly, I guess what is to be taken away from this story of yours is that, like, getting place is not just the
Yeah,
thing. I mean,
for sure,
for
for
many,
sure.
many of my friends, let's say, who are really, like, really good people, like better than me for sure, they could not get placed. I don't know, for some reason or other, or at least haven't been placed as of yet, right? So, like, many of them get into this state कि यार मेरे से कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं 4 साल में कुछ नहीं कर पाया ये. So all of these are complete nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, we are just 22, 23. Like,
Yes, so utna mat socho, let it not get you down basically,
yeah,
because because your entire life is left to achieve whatever you want to achieve, right?
yeah,
And I always believe that for every individual, and I keep saying this at a lot of places, that for every individual there comes a turning point where your mindset changes and you realize that this is now okay. I now have to mature. My mindset has to mature. I have to become serious. And when that happens, right, when your mindset changes and when you understand the importance of really dedicating your time to your work, that's when you actually realize your success.
that's
So
when you actually go on to make it to Forbes under 30.
nahi, yaar, nahi. So it happens, and it's a process. You cannot force it. You cannot
Yeah,
force it. But
yeah.
everybody gets that sort of push, और क्या उसको बोलते हैं, epiphany. सबको होता है.
Hmm.
Everybody gets that at one point or the other.
So Gaurav, what was your point where you realized कि you have to mature? What was your that point of
हाँ, वो
यार
that?
turning point कब था?
यार
Huh.
for me it happened during I was while I was doing my PhD. ठीक है. तो ever since I went into the PhD, I was doing really well. And I told you, because of my ability to really represent myself and stand out from all the other people. That's not to speak that other people are not doing well. They were very, very, very smart people in that entire batch. But धीरे धीरे PhD में करते करते ना you develop a lot of perspective. ठीक है. I saw I struggled, man, during my PhD. It was tough. I joined NCL. When I joined NCL as a junior research fellow, I had a stipend of 16,000 rupees. ठीक है. 16,000 रुपये में कुछ नहीं होता है. कुछ भी नहीं होता है. So even in those times, 2013 में भी कुछ नहीं होता था. But somehow I was able to save money from 16,000, and I saved up 3,000 per month. I saved up 36,000 and treated myself to a trip to Thailand while I was a junior research fellow. So I don't love you guys. Huh?
Hey, that's cool. I
No,
mean,
no,
that's
that's cool.
amazing.
That's actually inspiring.
What I was saying is that while doing my PhD, I realized the importance of staying ahead. Right? I was because I was or because I had a good enough grasp in English. I was able to write my papers very quickly. I was able to publish my papers much quicker than my peers, and that really gave me an edge over everybody. But when you really struggle for money, and when you really have those bad days or tough days, your mindset changes. देखो, इंडिया में there's a very very big issue जो I don't know how much it is there right now, but at least during that time, a guy or a girl is earning 16,000 rupees, और वो भी आपको मिल नहीं रहा है, वो भी डिले हो रहा है.
Ah,
ठीक है. वो भी डिले हो रहा है. मैं PhD ज्वाइन किया था. For 10 months I didn't see a penny. For 10 months I did not see a penny. उसके
Okay.
बाद मेरे को 11th मंथ में कुछ पैसे मिले. ठीक है. एंड आई टेल यू, मैं ये भी हर जगह बोलता हूँ कि ड्यूरिंग माय PhD देयर हैव बीन मोर मंथ्स वेयर आई हैव नॉट बीन पेड देन मंथ्स वेयर आई हैव बीन पेड. ठीक है.
Okay.
तो यार पर्सपेक्टिव डेवलप हो ही जाता है.
Hmm.
मतलब when I shared the Forbes thing, I wrote that back 5 years back मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे कि I would buy a pair of shoes. But and it sounds very fantastical, but it really did happen. This is the way that it was. I'm from a very well-to-do family, but you can't always go to your family and ask for money
Yeah,
when you are 25 26 years old. तो ठीक है, it gives you perspective. जब तुमको perspective मिल जाएगा, your mindset will automatically change. So
yeah.
that's basically what I'm trying to say here.
Hi, this is Tanir. We hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please do feel free to let us know your thoughts, your ideas on the same in the comment section. If you enjoyed our video, please do like and share it as much as possible. And of course, please do subscribe to Orgasm. Thank you.